Welcome to P2F Fighting. I'm James, and we got some cool stuff to talk about today. So, what we're going to discuss is how experience defeats size and age almost every time. What am I talking about? I am talking about the fights between Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul, Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, and also Jake Paul and Ben Askren. If you look at each one of those fights, experience won every time. So let's go through it. The first one was Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. They said, oh, Conor's got a chance because he's a fighter. He's a fighter, right? But they're boxing. They're not fighting, they're boxing. And you're boxing an individual who is the greatest boxer of our generation. And they thought they had a chance, but they did not. So no matter what you say about whether you feel like Conor won some rounds and whatever delusion you might be under, that Floyd didn't carry him the entire time until he decided to put him out, and then he did. Floyd carried Conor and to give the crowd entertainment. Yes, Conor caught him with an uppercut. It's a fight. You're going to get punched. Even Floyd's going to get punched eventually. So he carried Conor until he decided to knock him out, and then he did. And then most of you didn't see Floyd versus Tenshin. Tenshin was the Japanese kickboxer he fought over in Japan. Tenshin was 40-0 in kickboxing. He had 111 amateur fights and 60 knockouts. And he's 40-0 in the pros with 3 belts. And Floyd dropped him 3 times in Japan. Because now, why did he take him more seriously than he did Conor? Because he did. He didn't mess up Conor till the end of the fight. And Floyd didn't throw a punch in the first 3 rounds of him versus Conor. But when he fought that Japanese guy, he put him down 3 times and then put him out. Why? Well, because the Japanese guy was a kickboxer. Ending saying boxer. He actually had experience. So Floyd had to take him serious. So he didn't carry him. He put him out. Now, let's look at Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. So between the two, they said, oh, Ben Askren's a fighter. He's a fighter. It's true. But Jake Paul was a boxer. Not a great boxer, a good boxer. But between the two of them, Jake Paul had the more relevant boxing experience. Yes, Ben Askren was undefeated in Bellator, undefeated and won. You know, it came to UFC and got beat up a couple times and like won. But Ben Askren's history was as a wrestler. And if you watch his fights, you will see that he wrestled his way to all those victories. Of course, you got to throw some punches to get to the ground. You throw the punches, you distract them, you shoot, get them down, pound them out, right? So, of course, you got to have striking, but not all striking is equal, okay? In this match, he was boxing a guy that boxes. That's it. He doesn't do any wrestling, anything else. He just boxes. So the experience is on the side of Jake Paul, on top of the fact that he's younger and bigger. So he hit him with a 2-piece and a biscuit and put him out. Now, fast forward to the other day, Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. They sold y'all on this one. If you bought this fight, they sold you. And I predicted it. In my Facebook somewhere, you'll find it. Just type my name in Facebook, you'll find me there. I put it in there. There was no way Logan had a shot, but they sold people, oh, he's 50 pounds bigger and he's 20 years younger. And come on. Then you saw the fight. Once again, Floyd carried him until he decided to finish him. He didn't actually knock him out, but he beat him up pretty bad when he finally decided to. Now, to back up all of that, I am going to say if you just watch Floyd versus Conor and Floyd versus Logan, you will see that in the first round of both fights, he didn't throw any punches, or just one. I think the first two or three. I know versus Conor, Floyd threw a total of maybe 3 punches in the first 3 rounds. He didn't even punch. He just put his hands up and walked into Conor. Now, he couldn't do that against Logan because Logan's 50 pounds bigger. And and Logan was pretty ripped. He's all muscle. But he still didn't fight him that hard until the later rounds when he decided to really put some steam on him, and he did. So, they said age was a big deal. Listen to what I'm telling you, okay? Age doesn't always matter when the experience gap is that big. That experience gap between Floyd and Logan and Floyd and Conor was big. And Floyd and Tension. The experience gap between Jake and Ben was still there, but it wasn't that much bigger. But the fact is that Jake was way bigger than Ben, and he caught him. But the experience gap is huge. Now, I'm going to tell you about an ass whooping I took to prove this point. When I first started boxing in Fairmont, West Virginia, I had come off of, 8 years of karate? Oh man, I thought I was the man. I thought I was the man. That was 79, 20, yeah, 24. So yeah, I was 23, 24. I had won the local Fairmont Classic 3 or 4 times. I was defending champ of that. I had won nationals, states, worlds, internationals. I had been traveling with the USA team and Team America. Man, I thought I was straight the man. I walk into Winner's Choice Boxing Gym. Coach was Bob Watkins. Bob Watkins was the coach. Bob Watkins at that time, I'm saying there's at least a 40-year gap between our age. I'm not sure how old he is, but I know that he was no young man when I walked into that gym, right? Still an in-shape man, but definitely not a young man. I was 24. I thought he was probably 60. So we get in there, and I trained for, I don't know, a week or so. I can't remember how long I actually trained before he let me spar. But the first person he wanted me to spar was him, right? And I'm coming off all that karate history I just told you. Boy, I thought I had it done. I never told him this, but I looked at him. I thought I was the lion hunting prey. I'm like, man, there's no way this old man is going to hurt me at all. I got all kind of moves. And I thought because I could strike in karate that I could strike in boxing. This experience gap is huge. It's huge, right? And later I find out, Bob decides to tell me after the ass whooping he gave me that he sparred with Muhammad Ali. I had no chance from the beginning. This man sparred with Muhammad Ali. I had no shot at winning that fight, right? So we're sparring, right? And he was being nice to me because I was hitting him, and I probably would have never hit him if he wouldn't have let me. And I think I probably got a little too rough because I thought I was the man. And the next thing you know, he threw a punch. I hit the floor. I went straight to my knees. I didn't fall on my back, but I took a seat. My knees, he hit me in the chin somewhere. My knees went straight out, and I landed on my ass. And I sat there, and I was like, hold on, man, hold on. Wow. Oh, man, I remember that day was a day in infamy. He said, glove up. He always says glove up. So he put on the gloves, mouthpiece, and then he caught me with that. You know what? I'm going to tag Bob in this one. So, Bob, I'm tagging you in this video. I still, this many years later, don't know what you hit me with. I don't know if it was a straight right, a hook, a uppercut. I have no clue. All I know is you punched me in the chin, and I hit the ground. And that day was one of the most humbling days that I ever had. Because before that, I had never been hit like that. And since till now, I've been in a bunch of fights the whole time. I've never been hit like that. He is the hardest anyone's ever punched me. It was that one. And the man had to be 60 when he punched me. The point I'm making is experience matters. When the experience gap is that big, the experience gap between Floyd and the people he's fighting is this big. So when they sell you on, oh, the weight, if it gets caught, he's not going to get caught. Did you see Logan catch him? Did you see Logan's technique? His jabs? Did you see what Floyd did? He let Logan throw everything he had, threw himself out. And then when he got tired, Floyd started going to work on him. And Logan's throwing jabs, you know, 0.00001 miles an hour. Baby jabs. Experience matters a lot. Size does not matter as much as you think it does. Okay? As you see, Floyd was smaller than Conor. They were about the same size, but I think Conor was still bigger than Floyd. And Floyd was 50 pounds smaller than Logan. I think Logan was 199 and Floyd was 154. I believe that's what the weights were, if I remember correctly. There was a 50 weight gap there, and it was clear to see. Jake's case is a little different. I think Floyd and Tension were about the same size, but I think even Tension was bigger than Floyd because it's not always about that. It's about your know-how. That's why I want you to train, because when you come up against a bigger guy, you can still win. I don't understand why people get so afraid when they come across a bigger dude. I actually enjoy fighting bigger people. You can ask, when I was trained at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, I would always try to fight the biggest person or roll with the biggest person. Every time. I would always ask my teacher, yo, who's the biggest guy in here? You, come here, let's go. Every time. I want to go with the biggest person in there. Because there's no reason to be scared of someone's size. If you're small, you can still win. You have things on your side. You move faster. You can get someone big to tire out quicker. So size is not always the issue. And when you're doing martial arts, that is the point of martial arts. So the little man can beat the big man. This is the point. You ever take judo? It's all angles, so the little guy can throw the big guy. What do you think jiu-jitsu was for? If you've ever seen UFC 1, 2, or 3, when Royce Gracie is choking out guys that are 400 pounds, he's almost breaking the arms of sumo wrestlers. Come on, man. You got to understand the size ain't always the thing. Floyd's showing you right now. Size and age. Age will catch you in some sports. For example, soccer or football, real football, or even American football. Yeah, age is going to matter because you're losing speed. Speed. When you're getting older, speed's one of the first things you lose. Speed and quickness. You lose those quick. You keep your power for a long time. As a man, you keep your power for a long time. But you lose speed and agility really quickly. So yeah, if it's a foot race, you're probably not going to win that, you know. But things that require experience where movement helps, you know, when you get older, you might not can run circles around somebody in a ring, but then you learn how to cut the ring off. You learn how to grab and hold, let go, hold them till they get tired. You know, bait people into throwing certain punches that you know that they're going to miss and they're going to tire them out. It's experience, it's know-how. It's know-how. You gain that from sparring and from real live sparring and real life experience. That's why I want you guys to take arts that are ring arts and mat arts, because those will teach you in real street situations that you can learn right there in your gym. Experience. You need experience. Experience usually wins the day. Now the next time Floyd fights one, because he said he's going to fight Jake Paul now, I promise you he's going to beat him. I know Jake's knocking everybody out. I promise you he won't knock out Floyd because of the experience gap. If they sell you again on one of these fights and you pay, what was it, $59.99? These guys got over 1 million buys. They're both making 50 to 100 million each off people who let the media tell them that Logan had a chance. Logan had no chance. And as you saw, he didn't have a chance. Experience matters. Experience gaps. You want experience. So yeah, the point of this video is just to tell you that experience usually wins the day. even when the size is different, even when the age is different. If the person's obviously if you've got injuries and you're old, that's different. But Floyd, I don't think he even smokes or drinks. I don't think he does either. So he's in top shape even now, even though he haven't fought a real match for years. He stays in the gym. So if you're in shape and you've got experience and you are older, don't think that because some young buck comes in that's tearing the place up that you can't win. Don't lose your confidence. Use these fights as an example that you can still win. Don't ever doubt yourself. Gain that experience and use it against them young lions. You don't got to be an old lion that's put out the pasture. You're still the current lion, right? Don't fall for the okie doke. Experience matters. It's been proven, and it's being proven right in front of your eyes all the time. All right, so when you take martial arts, gain that experience. Spar. Compete. These things make you sharp. And gain the experience you need for when a street situation happens, you will be ready. All right, that's all I got. So if you want to say something, comments below. Like, subscribe, and share. And holla at your boy.